this party started. Hey everybody, and welcome to our team call. It is Wednesday, March 13th, and I'm so freaking excited about our guest speakers tonight. Oh baby. I will give them a proper intro. But before we get started into the content of this call, be sure to message people. I know like Facebook being really wonky today, and like message people on get them on this call live, and of course we'll record it. So first, let me give a couple of shout outs because we have some people to recognize that are crushing it right now. So who can I see? I can see Christy, Brianna, Cindy. Can you guys see my screen and this little graphic here? Cool. Okay. First, I want to recognize our top 2 recruiters of last week, Brittany Crosby and Elisa Gallios, who both recruited 4 coaches last week. Let's blow up the chat, give them some love. So excited for you guys, are freaking crushing it. And then I want to highlight the top 3 volume earners of last week. As you guys know, within Beachbody, every single product and program has volume attached to it, which means these people are serving a lot of people with these products and programs and helping them change their freaking lives, and that matters. So shout out to Kinsley, myself, and Jackie, who were the top 3 volume earners last week. And then, if you guys don't know Christy Payne, I wanted to just highlight her, and I created this little section to highlight a coach of the week just because I feel like we need to give her a shout out. As a new coach, it's super awesome to celebrate that first milestone. When you have your first challenge pack, you get that first message from someone that says, because of you, my life's changed. But I want to highlight Christy for a different reason, which is Christy's been a coach for a really long time. She took a step back, and this month already, for the first time in over a year, she hit Success Club. She's pregnant, she's kicking butt, she's in her grad program, and she is on fire. So I just want to give her some serious love, blow up the chat, tell Christy she's amazing, and I'm so, so proud of you, Christy. So I just wanted to give you extra little love tonight. And then important dates, we weren't able to post into our team community page about all of this like epic calendar that we have of some dates that are coming up, but Jackie and I will be posting about the Ultimate Portion Fix and some groups that we're coordinating and all of that jazz. But I want to be respectful of our guest speakers' time tonight. I want to just turn the time over to them. So be on the lookout tomorrow in the team page for a video and all of the jazz explaining kind of what's coming up in terms of groups and portion fix stuff. Because, you know, we are so freaking pumped about that. So, okay. If you guys don't know Jamie and Kim Fitzpatrick, like, let's see if I can see the faces here. Okay. I love this duo. If you guys attended Summit last year, Jamie and I actually got to speak at Summit together, which was really freaking awesome. And I got to know a lot more about him as a person and his wife, Kim. They are top coaches in the network. Jamie's on the coach advisory board. Kim is the #1 coach in Canada. Let's just blow up the chat for Kim and Jamie in general, just with what they're doing, because to be a top coach in the network, multiple times elite, to be asked to serve on the coach advisory board, you're impacting a ton of people with how you're showing up. And that's something that we can all get behind and celebrate. So I'm so excited. They're Canadians, so like, I don't know, maybe I should throw that in the intro, but I'm so excited because of what you guys have accomplished. I admire you both so much, but way more with who you are in the process towards, you know, achieving all these crazy things. So without further ado, I'm just going to unmute you and turn the time over. So let's do this.
There we are.
Amazing.
Thank you so much. What an intro. Can you say that all over again? I felt good about myself.
I just want to say, like, Kasha, you literally set our team's soul on fire on our team call. So I just want to get you all to blow the chat up for your leader, fearless leader, because it just was really incredible. You lit my soul on fire, inspired me so much. And I just think, guys, sometimes we don't even realize who we have as our leader right in front of you. So I just wanted to take a second to honor you because you're a rock star.
Yeah. It's funny. Keisha's like, let's honor our speaker's time. Keisha comes on our call last night and we're doing karaoke and guess the song and then 10 minutes of recognition. Oh, wow. You hung in there. Yeah, we're excited. We actually love doing team calls. I don't know if anyone doesn't love them, but we like them, right?
Yeah.
We enjoy them. So thank you very much. And we will, like, I usually say this on team calls. It's like, you might not hear anything brand new. I mean, listen, there's no real secrets in this business. It's all out there. And I really believe, regardless of who your upline is, there's so much training out there on YouTube and stuff. You can be successful regardless. So you may not hear anything brand new, but maybe you take a nugget or two. And I think that's why you always want your coaches to show up on every single team call, because I do believe there can be one or two things that literally change the game for people. If they hear it in a certain way, a different way, they take a nugget. And that's why people who show up for one of every 6 team calls probably aren't going to do much in their business, because they're missing out on all those little things, right? Wouldn't you agree?
100%.
So let's talk, and we're going to cover, I won't say quite a few topics, but I do want to talk about leadership, but I also want to talk about this specific business and how it relates to even how you feel about this business and what you think it actually is. Because I do think when you come into this, and it doesn't matter whether you've had business experience before, maybe your parents were entrepreneurs, maybe you've done retail, maybe you've worked in retail before. I do think that it will help you if you really have an appreciation for what you actually have in the palm of your hands. Mm-hmm. I really believe the greater your appreciation and gratitude for what this actually is will help you in your coaching journey. It'll help you when you get in discussions with potential coaches, challengers. It'll build you up with confidence when you actually have those discussions with people, because I do think confidence is massive.
Yeah.
What's your line?
Oh, I said competence builds your confidence.
Right.
So it's a little bit backwards.
No.
But it's like, in order for you to really have confidence, you have to build your competence in this business and in yourself and in what you can do and in this opportunity.
Yeah, and it's the same thing with PD. It's like, and I always say this too, is, PD isn't just to build up your armor or make you smarter or think differently than other people. I think it makes you grow as a human being. And one of my things is, like, I think in this business, you will only max out your business. Your business will only grow as far as you personally grow. And I hope that makes sense. And that's why people who don't do PD, their business never grows, because, if you never do, if your personal growth hits here and you're not growing personally because you don't do PD and you're not really into the business, your business has a cap on it. But once you open that box of personal development and it kind of goes through this thing,
Mm-hmm.
that's your business can actually follow suit. And
Mm-hmm.
your business will not grow if you personally don't change in this business. So we talked about this too. Like when we started 4 years ago, what we can handle now in the business with a large team and training and calls, and we're recruiting a lot of people, like what we can handle now, we're only able to handle it now because of the work we've done the past 4 years. When we started, no way we would have been able to do what we do now.
Right.
Right?
Absolutely. And I would say too, it's like we've armed ourselves with some key principles in this business. First and foremost, when you think about personal development, guys, that can be a huge, vast topic, right? That can be a huge, vast topic from a professional perspective. People think personal development, they roll their eyes. They're like, oh, great, you're going to go to the self-help section. Sure, you may need to lean on some self-help books at some point in time in your journey. But there's also things that you need to understand. There are business books you need to be reading. There are leadership books that you need to be reading. There are so many different aspects of this. And you know what it starts with, guys? It starts with gratitude. And it actually starts with starting your day with gratitude. And it starts with having a morning routine. And it starts with having a set schedule. And it starts with having time blocked stuff so that you can be the leader in your own life that people are going to watch, and they're going to want to model that because you put yourself first, but you're modeling that, right? It's very easy to say I have a morning routine with no proof to that, right? So we've got a couple different things. So for me as a professional, one of the things we really, when we both worked full time, and, I just kind of want to pop back to that. Like, guys, when we first started this business, we were working 50 plus hours a week, traveling outside of Ontario. So I was traveling to 2 different provinces, flying up and down and all around. You had a corporate job as well, traveling all over the place. We had 2 small humans. I was finishing my degree. So when someone tells me they do not have time, and we hit top 10 that year. So when someone tells me they do not have time to do the business, no, you just aren't invested. You haven't made a decision to actually work your business, because there's a big difference between not having time and actually creating time to cultivate the legacy you want. So you have to really understand that. So choose your hard. You've got to honestly just stop the glorification of busy, right? You need to stop the glorification of busy, and you can absolutely work this business in pockets in an incredibly efficient way. Now, what I'll share is that, honestly, I had 0 morning routine when I worked in my corporate job. I was in constant reaction mode. So as a business professional, are you in a reaction mode where you're waking up and all of a sudden the kids are in your face? And it's like, no, of course you're not going to seamlessly get a post out and your workout done and try and look like you sort of somewhat have a system. Like, would you want to join your team? And I look back at the leadership that I had in the first 2 years, and we were doing okay, and I was learning this business, but I was really good at defaulting that it was Jamie's business, and I was helping him with it, right? Because that was safe to me. That was more comfortable to me until I decided to draw my line in the sand and actually step onto my side of the ring. So it's like, those are some of the questions I want to ask you right now. It's like, A, do you have a routine? B, do you have a very clear vision? And when I talk about vision, it's something that you have written out and that you know what you want. So, you know, and I can certainly share some of my vision, but it's like, you need to know what's really, really you're focusing on. And I think sometimes, guys, we don't actually set goals that scare us big enough. And it's really important to get to understand that. So, you know, so it's you've got to have a routine, you've got to have a vision, and you've got to have a mission. Like, what's your mission? And honestly, when you know what your vision is, plus your mission, the rest is just going to follow. So you have to get seriously clear on the type of leader you want to be, the culture you want to build on your team, the type of people that you want to attract, and how you're going to show up every dang day as the person you need to be in this career. You can treat this as a hobby or even call it a part-time hustle, but are you giving it actually the oomph it deserves? Or are you saying what I did, it's Jamie's, because I wasn't confident enough to own the fact that I had the potential to run a not multi-million at this point, but like, it's the potential, look at cash, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, you need to map that out. Like, if you want to earn a certain amount of money, write that down. If you want to earn a certain rank, write that down. If you want to buy that dream house, write that down. If you want to attract those women, write that down. If you want to quit your job, write that down. If you want to get a dog, write that down. If you want to have a better relationship and have an extraordinary marriage, write that down. Like, this is the thing you need to understand, guys, that this is not a one-sided job or career. This is so multidimensional, which you are too, because you've stepped into this. So as you're starting to understand, you know, this business opportunity, I really want to make sure you understand there are key rooted foundational things that you may roll your head at that all stem from personal development. Every single one.
Yeah. And it's interesting, right? We all have, anyone who's, well, most of us have had a job or been in a job, you have a routine at your regular job. We all do. You go, you know, you have a timeline of the day, you know, when your lunch is, but we don't do that for ourselves and our own business. Why is that? Well, it probably means you're not treating it like a business then. That's all this is. It's just flipping the script on this. And even if it's going to be a part-time thing for you forever, maybe your goal isn't to retire or whatever that is. Even if it's a part-time business, you still have to treat this like it's an actual business. And like, you show up for these team calls. This is your most important business meeting of the day, right? And so going back to just give you a little background on how we actually got into this, because I think it's important to note, is like, so we both had, well, let's go back to the very beginning. I had a company with my brother, and we started one store in the highest per capita income place in Canada, in Oakville, Ontario. And I don't know if you have any Canadians on your team, but anyway. And it was there's some, Brianna. Brianna looks like she's from British Columbia. No?
Oh, she
see
is.
that guess? Okay, now let me go even further. I'm going to guess you're like in the Okanagan. No? It's okay. Revelstoke. See, I was right. That's close.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got close. Okay, so I used to teach high school. My brother was a teacher, and we essentially left our full teaching jobs. We taught for 7 years. And my dad was like, come out to Ontario. It's on the east. Let's open a retail store. So we're like, sure. Had never done retail before. I don't even think we owned a dog at the time. But my sister owned a furniture store. We're like, let's open this is back in 2003. Okay. we're like, let's open a really cool dog store with cool dog stuff and like make it look like you're shopping at I don't know, what would it be like between a Gap, a Banana Republic, and what?
No, it was like high-end
High-end dog stuff.
So, like Nordstrom's
for
dogs.
So we opened this dog store. We called it Bark and Fitz, last name Fitzpatrick, and we just opened one store. And, you know, I don't know if you've ever worked in retail or you've opened up your own business. You know, we borrowed money from my parents who were older and retiring. We spent about $250,000 to open that store. We left our teaching jobs to open up a doggy boutique. Like, how crazy does that sound, right? Overpriced collars, little Burberry coats, like this, you know, the bakery. And at this time, this is going back 15, 16 years ago, you didn't see those dog boutiques out there. This is kind of one of the first ones, right? And eventually we had people come in and they're like, oh, this is cool. Are you an American company? Like, is this a franchise? No, but eventually what we did is we franchised it out. So we were the franchisor. So we eventually had 23 locations. So pretty good success. We open up, and then, but in that process, I want you guys to understand, this is kind of the point I'm trying to make, is that, you know, we invested $250,000. We borrowed a ton of money from my parents. We paid them back. And our monthly rent every month was like $7,000, $8,000. I think it went up to $9,000 of monthly rent. Do you know how many dog biscuits you have to sell to pay for $9,000 of rent? Plus, think about it, we had to stock the store for about $100,000 every month, and that just kept turning over because people would buy it and you'd have to buy more. In our first 2 years in that individual store, we did about $1.6 million in sales, and this is how much money we made. And I think we got Christmas off and maybe another day. I don't know. We started dating around that time, and you worked a lot too. So when I came into this business, and I was like, okay, hold on a sec. Like, and I'm messing up our story because I want to get to the point. But basically what happened is that through the business, as we started to franchise out the concept, we brought in a business partner. It went sideways on my brother and I. There was a massive amount of stress in the business, and essentially I gained about 60 pounds, right? Self-medication, alcohol, food, lawsuits, like being sued personally for millions of dollars. And that went on for about 4 or 5 years.
Those are some dark days.
It was awful. Awful.
We actually call those days our fall from grace.
Yes.
And I'm going to share something with you guys right now, just if I can. This is kind of off topic, but I feel like it's going to be great for you guys when you do start to earn money and really start to see the fruits of your labor. When Jamie was earning a ton of money, we thought, I was like 26, like rolling in it. Thank God, because I worked in senior living. Guys, I made like $38,000 a year. Like if that wasn't even that, no, it wasn't. I made $32,000 a year, which may sound like a lot of money to you guys, but like
it's like Canadian dollars. So that's like 10,000 US.
Canadian dollars. And, you know, after tax, which we are crazily, I was hardly making enough to make ends meet. So I was working 2 to 3 jobs. And so when Jamie started to see that difference in that income, I released some of those jobs, and we thought we were coasting. We did think we were coasting until all of a sudden things started to break down. And
we as a system, we did 60 million in sales.
Yeah. So, but what I want to share, guys, is that, you know, so often we don't even understand that we've got a full IT support system, that we have a full customer service and distribution, that we do not need to deal with any overhead. We don't deal with any returns. We don't deal with it. So it's like very, very much, I really feel like we need to take that into consideration. And one of the things I'll share is that when we had that fall from grace, like that was a really scary time that we almost went into bankruptcy. You know, Jamie got denied for life insurance, and he was 36 years old, and we had a newborn baby because of the stress and what he'd gained. And it's like,
and it was like, that's the life insurance where the nurse comes in your mouth, or she comes in your house and takes blood from you and all that stuff, right?
Yeah. And like he got denied life insurance, and Like that was a really dark time and we had nothing to show for it. We had no savings.
Yeah.
We didn't start to pay down our mortgage. We had lines of credits out the wazoo. So as you're starting to understand this business, I want to share that caveat I was young and I was foolish and I didn't understand that you need to take care of your investment and your return on your investment. So every hour you put into this business and it will yield a long-term outcome. Trust us. Like when people say it's not happening fast enough, I want to take you by the shoulders and shake you because Julia Childs, it took her 10 years to make her cookbook. This is what happens. So just own and sit in that because money can come quick and it can leave just as fast. Mm-hmm. But legacy and the impact you have makes a difference. And the work you didn't have impact. It didn't have legacy. Yes, there are beautiful dogs walking around Oakville and a lot of places with little collars. We shop there. However, it didn't fill you with joy and it almost ended your life. Mm-hmm. And I lost my husband.
Yeah.
So, and thank God for Beachbody because it saved us.
Yeah.
So I just want to share honestly that, you know, as you start to, guys, savor your $49 paycheck. Save it. Save half of it. Just, I know I sound like a mom now, but like just, if I can be honest, we didn't do that. And it can come really fast. And what I'll share, and my point of this is that we're really smart right now. We're being stewards. So before that, either one of us resigned from our corporate jobs, we were sure that we had absolutely safety net to no end in order to do that in a smart, respectful way that served our family. So I share that because I feel like from business partner to business partner, guys, I wasn't involved enough in the finance stuff. I didn't understand it. And that's on me for being ignorant. So get clear on budgets, get clear on what you're doing, get clear on your return on your investment because you're going to need to teach that.
So all that stress that we went through and no, you're good. And the lawsuits and all that stuff, obviously like I gained the 60 pounds and then, you know, like a lot of people's stories in coaching, I was sitting up one night drinking scotch, I used to play a lot of online poker just to medicate myself. And P90X came on an infomercial. It's funny that all the stress and everything that actually led to where we were sitting here talking to you. It's like, and we were those customers who we literally ordered every DVD set from Beachbody over and over because I lost the weight on P90X. So then we started doing Insanity Max 30 and all that stuff. And go ahead, Keisha. I used to hunt and peck. Who's off on mute? And so we would order all these things, and this is really important for you to understand. So Beachbody coaching didn't come to Canada till like, I don't know, I want to say 5, 6, 7 years after the US.
But we were huge.
I'm going to get into that. No, I know that. That's the whole point here is that Kim and I, so after we ordered all these DVDs, we were using, we were 2 Shakeology bags a month household.
A household,
US. I think you were using the derm line at that time, the skin line.
Yeah.
So we were like your ideal customers, like spending $300-400 a month because we love the product. This is the crazy part. We were actually even on social media then. I don't think, not obviously as much as this, but we were like sharing pictures and stuff like that. Guys, we not once when we were customers were we reached out to join an accountability group, about coaching. We didn't even know what coaching were. We saw at the end of when you do a workout and you see at the end the old summit videos from like.
I used to make fun of it. Used to be like, this is so stupid. Why are they jumping with lanyards on and they're all matching? Like I literally made fun of them. Like, and now I'm in one of the reels and I'm like, I love it too. You know, but I think it's really important to know. It's like, no, we could have been in your downline.
Nobody reached out to us, guys. Like, and that's just proof. And this is only 3.5, 4 years ago. And I had to go look for a coach because no one ever reached out to us about an accountability group, coaching sneak peek. So guys, I'm telling you right now, you never know who your next invite's going to be. And that's why you do it. And that's why you do as many as you can every day.
And what I'll share is I actually did get a card. I got a card from someone. I would
you
wish
assigned someone.
I knew who it was. So she sent me a card with no number, no email, no invite to anything, just like, I'm your coach. I'm like, great, throw it out. My point to this is that when you have leads or when you have new customers, follow up a few times because they're not going to know what the heck you're talking about. And we assume that they understand our language, but they don't. So follow up a few times because I bet if she had tracked me down on social media, that coach, I know it was a girl, she had loopy writing, but if she like could have tracked me down, I probably would have followed back up. So remember, guys, it takes 8 times for somebody to actually understand what you're telling them. So don't stop. With a lead, don't just send one email, be like, join my group. They don't know what that means. Like, show them, be there, connect with them, add value, that kind of stuff. Because I, right now, didn't have any tie to her, you know, so just keep that into consideration.
In the November 2014, we got to a point where we were in our corporate jobs. We had the 2 young kids, and our kids were in daycare. We called ourselves the 605 parents because we'd pick our kids up at 6 o'clock every night. Again, we were always late. It was like, because we both were away from home 3 hours on the road working, and I'd be like, where are you at? I don't know, where are you at? Can you get them today? And then we just played that game over and over. And that November of 2014, I think we saw each other maybe 4 days that whole month because we were just passing ships. And that's when I was like, you know what? I think we need to try, because I'd been sitting on this opportunity for 10 months because I was scared like everybody else. You're not sure if you can do it. I'm a dude. Like, can I do this stuff? And so, yeah, January 2015, a couple months later, we signed up. And I vividly remember talking. I filled out an application form. I literally Googled top Beachbody coach in Canada. That's what I Googled, and my coach Miguel came up. And I filled out his application form, and I literally within 30 seconds he called me. I was like, "Oh, hi." It was really weird. But even that taught me from day one. It's like be engaged in your business. Be that engaged in your business that you know what's going on. And here's the thing, guys, is like, you don't have to go through what I went through with a typical business with my retail store and like opening it for $250,000 and paying all that rent and paying employees and having to stock the store and dealing with the general public about their dogs. My God, do you know how serious people are about their dogs? Oh my God. Like, honestly, worse than any retail store for humans, like way worse, right? Like, and so I came from that background, but you don't have to go through that to understand this opportunity, guys. So we were using Shakeology, and we were using, so my coach Miguel's like, he's like, you don't want to buy a challenge pack, right? Because you're using Shakeology, you have BOD and all that stuff. I was like, no. He's like, okay, so in Canada, I think at that time it was $45. So I literally spent that $45. However, when he started telling me like, okay, so it's in Canada, it's $20 a month to run your business, not $15.95. I'm like, hold on a sec. Like, I was really trying to process, like, you're telling me I just have to, $20 a month gets me my back office. Yeah. It gets me everything I need I can make commission, like, for $20 a month. Like, I literally.
You kept trying to figure out the loophole.
I was like, what's the catch? Yeah. I don't get this. Like, I don't understand. Why is it so inexpensive?
Yeah.
So I went into this business coming from the background where I came from, like thinking, you know, $8,000 a month rent we had to give to our landlord, thinking I get to do this from home. I do it on my phone, which is crazy because I'm spending money. I'm using this already anyway. And then I get to make an impact on people at the same time. It's like, and even if you view the fact that you need the 90 PV, the Shakeology or performance line or whatever, even if you view that as a business expense, you guys, for $100 in Canada, it's all in with the coach fee. It's like $150 a month. So it's, I think, $130 for you guys. I'm not even sure. You guys, there's Canadians on there too. Guys, that is so insanely stupid of an amount to run a business that I go into this business and all my conversations with potential coaches with this attitude and with this energy and with me like almost saying like, why wouldn't you do this business? Right. Like, you look after yourself. What other business are you allowed to do that? That like, you literally, our business is to take care of ourselves, post that on social media, which isn't that hard. If you think posting on social media is hard, then you've never been in a war or fought cancer or been working in a coal mine. Like,
And you need to do more personal development.
Yeah, let's just be honest here. Like, this requires a lot of time because it's a real business. It's a real business. It requires a lot of time. But this is not hard work, people. I'm sorry. It just isn't. And Keisha, and we talked about on our team call on Monday, it's like, if you think this is hard work, if you think inviting is really hard work, yeah, I know it makes you uncomfortable, some of you, the invite process. Honestly, if I'm just going to be real with you, that's just an incredibly selfish way to approach inviting in this business. Mm-hmm. You're just very selfish because it makes you uncomfortable. Yet we all know, maybe not for all of you, maybe this hasn't turned into 6 figures yet, or maybe you haven't had a client who's lost 100 pounds and got off their medication, but we know because we've seen it, and there's examples on this call of people who have done that and have turned this into something amazing. So you not sharing that with other people is just you being so uncomfortable. You're making it about you. Or you don't quite fully believe in this yet. And you don't quite fully believe in the compensation plan, or that this is a viable option. You wouldn't admit it out loud, but maybe you don't believe that. So why? Because if you believe wholeheartedly in this business and what it entails, and even though you may not have achieved some of those things, how many guests have you seen in the last year on team calls or national wake-up calls of all these people who've changed their life? There's proof there. And that's also part of using other people's stories on social media. I know Acacia's huge on that. We're huge on that, using other people's income. Even if you're a brand new coach, you still have other people's examples to share that.
Yeah.
So my whole point with this is that if you can grasp this concept of how crazy good this business is from an affordability level, you get to take care of you, you get to share that with other people. You get to really, and I know it can come across as cliche and corny with some people, especially people outside the community who don't fully get it. Like, there is not a business that you have all those components that they hit on, and you can turn it into something that literally, like, we're just about to hit 7 figures. I don't know the disclaimer either, Keisha, sorry. But like, that is mind-boggling. It's just mind-boggling to me, but you have to take that attitude into some of your conversations. Because if you don't believe that and you're kind of like, yeah, it's $150 a month. I know you got to order Shakeology every month. Yeah, it's are you kidding me? Like, no, honestly, like, it is such a gift, guys. And if you can grasp that and bring that energy into your conversations, into your invite process, into your voice notes to potential people, the game will change for you.
Absolutely. And I think one of the things too, guys, is be bold enough to actually counteract some of those things. So for example, I have always had girlfriends. I had 4 girlfriends in particular that gave me a bit of a hard time. One was holding a Starbucks cup. And she's like, oh, you're going to do that? You're going to drink those? I'm like, oh, you're drinking Starbucks? Are they paying you? No. Oh, they must have paid you to walk around with their logo. She was so pissed at me. And I'm like, it's the same thing. Right? So another girl was talking to me about her hair salon. Another girl was talking, and it's the same thing. So sometimes, guys, we actually don't understand that every single thing in Canada and America, you're walking around advertising for everybody else. Yet, you don't believe in your own return on your own investment because you're scared. Here's what I shared to one of my coaches this morning. She said, you know, I'm just afraid that my friends are just going to kind of laugh at me and whatever's going to happen. I said, well, do they like to work out? She said, yeah. I said, okay. Do they like to eat healthy? Yeah. Oh, okay. Do they need to buy some supplements? Yeah. Oh, okay. So what you're saying is you have a solution that's an option for them. She's like, yeah. I'm like, right. So you don't have to brainwash people. You don't have to convince people. You don't have to pull people, but you certainly have to educate people that you have a bomb opportunity for them to change their life. And that shifted her entire perspective because it made us relatable. I don't care if you want to go to hot yoga. How's that serving you? How's it serving your time? For me, I know, and this is what I use that feel, felt, found. I have a gym membership that's 3 minutes from me and I don't go because it doesn't serve me.
We should cancel that.
We do need to cancel that. Like, stop. But it's funny when people, just give you those excuses, and we allow those excuses to actually deter us from our passions, right? And you're allowing the opinions of other people, and unfortunately their limited stuff. Like I was giggling today. I saw all these people, or yesterday when I was at my spin class that I love because we go to lift and we're able.
Can I say something?
Mm-hmm.
We've been going to spin because we love it. We do it like twice a week. Right?
Yeah.
And your best friend is one of the
my best friend.
But even you've been going like, oh my God, it takes so much time to drive to spin.
I have. However, I have 4 clients from that in 5 weeks because I wear my Beachbody stuff. I carry my hydrate. We're doing a team ride. I do what Danielle Nantoni taught me. Wear your stuff, right? You don't have to just promote home workouts. You can do the things you love. However, you need to be able to tie it in. So for example, I shared, and I'm going on a tangent because I just want to give you a shareable moment. Like, I said, I love Lyft because I'm able to work in this that I love on my active recovery days. So now I've got credibility from instructors, spin instructors, different people that are seeing me do other things, not just at my home. So that was just one disclaimer thing. But my point of all this is that as you're starting to get more bold and brave, you need to understand everything about this business, that what you're doing is serving so many people. And you know what? It's not for everybody. You're not doing this to get your best friend on board. My best friend tried to work this business. It didn't serve her, and it actually sucked the life out of me because I love her, but I don't need her to be a coach on my team and for me to convince her how great it is. And sometimes, guys, we spend so much of our time trying to convince people that this is for them that we miss everybody else that is actually our people. So as you're starting to learn this, and as you're starting to talk about this as a business owner, get very clear. I'm going to go back to your clarity. You got to make sure you have clarity in terms of who you want to talk to, right? And who you want to be attracting. But what are you saying? Are you agreeing with them? I'll tell you a quick story. I remember I was at a publication thing. It was very cool. I was with Tosca Reno, Mo Hagan, like huge people in Canada. I really have a massive, tremendous respect for, huge in good life, etc. I'm sitting around this table with all these women. I'm like, I'm not qualified to be in this ring. That's what I thought. When I walked in there, I was shaky. I was nervous. I did not feel qualified to be in that ring. And it's interesting. I'm doing an empowerment coaching certification with Crystal Andreas Morissette. And she walked in and all I hear is, here's one of the best sellers, Oprah's book list, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, this looks like a lining, like a shining angel. Anyway, she plops down beside me. And I went, and we were all going around and we were talking about who we are. And I said, oh, I'm Kim. And I was sweating to death. I don't know if that happens when you guys go live or anything, because you just start sweating, like everything sweats. So at that point back when I was a little bit insecure, and I turned to Crystal and I said, oh, I'm glad that's over. We're all just hot messes, aren't we? And she stopped me and she said, I am not a hot mess. And I was like, what? In my head. It was the first time a woman hasn't actually bowed down to agree she's a hot mess. How many of you bow down to all the moms and say, I'm a hot mess? No, you're not. Are you a hot mess? Do you think you're a hot mess? Right? My point of this is, as business owners, if people are going to say to you, this isn't credentially, or this isn't good enough, well, you're just saying that. Like, yeah, are you owning? Well, actually, it's an incredibly lucrative business. Would you want me to send you some information? How's your 9 to 5 going? You know, how's that working for you? So I don't mean to sound a little bit crass, but I want to share, it was a great example for me. And I actually shared with tears over Christmas with Crystal, saying that was one of a pivotal moment for me as a business owner in this business, to stop lumping myself in with all the objections I was getting, because I was dumbing myself down to my friends. I was dumbing myself down, and shame on me. Shame on me. Because guess how many of them want to join me now? And they're pissed they're not the first coach, right? So just remember that. Remember that. Do not lump yourself into mediocrity, because it's a very, very, very easy place to fall.
That's part of PD though too. It's easier said than done. You can't just,
but you need to be aware
yeah.
that you're doing that. So now, guys, I hope you catch that reel. When I'm just a hot mess. No, you're just giving an excuse for everything going wrong in your life. Why don't you just say you need to give yourself some grace because your son just threw up. You're trying to do this. You're doing, that's okay. It doesn't make you a hot mess. You need to give yourself that grace. because that doesn't mean you don't know your business. That doesn't mean you can't lead a team. Guys, I can't spell and I don't know geography. And I actually said to someone that where was she? I told her she was on a planet. Uranus? No, where was she? Venus. Venus. My girlfriend was in Venus. And I said, how? Or Venice.
Oh my God. Why are you talking about geography?
No, but I said, I want to share something. I have a point to this. But I said to her on a live video, how's Venice? No, Venus. How's Venus? The planet. And I was like, oh my God. And then I'm like, whatever, it's fine. I can help you build a bomb business, but do not ask me about geography and planets. So just roll with it. Do not think that it strips you of your confidence. Do not think it dumbs you down. Like, just, those are the things you got to roll with and like love, because that's what people love, right? They love when you're not perfect. They love that you're navigating through this. They love that you have competence in this. They love that you can send them great information with detailed emails that you know you have, right?
Why did you say Uranus? What is
that?
I literally peed a little when you said that. I'm not gonna lie.
Isn't that
yes, it's a planet, honey. It's Pluto, Jupiter.
I don't know.
Actually, I don't think Pluto's a planet anymore. Anyway,
I was giving you an example of like, I could have maybe been so embarrassed. I could have thought I'm such a hot mess. I could have dumbed myself down. Nope. Own it. Own your flair, my friends.
You got me sidetracked now. Where are we supposed to go with this now?
I don't know. I don't even have
I'll close it off with this. We will not talk about planets or the solar system. But I think going in and understanding how good this business is, and I almost, not exclusively post on social media about the business, but a lot of my themes of my posts on social media are about, and I do it, I think, in a fairly classy way, are really about people not understanding what this business is. Because I want people to think about what this actually is. So a lot of my posts are just like, I really get them to question, okay, maybe that business isn't what I actually think it is, because it's not, right? Most people they have a preconceived notion of what this is without any clue of what it actually is. It's like, and I want you to understand too, when you go into these business conversations, it's really important for you to understand, because when you're armed with all this info, it's good stuff. It's like, you guys understand, like when you sign up as a coach, and because I was a franchisor, right? We had 22 stores. They own the stores, but they had to pay us a 6% royalty every month and a 2% marketing fee that we could spend on any kind of marketing we want. Plus, they had to pay Visa 1%, American Express 1.5% on their total sales. Like, this is even before they get taxed on their money. So if one of our stores did $1 million, they'd give us $60,000 as a royalty fee that we get to keep, $20,000 for marketing, and then they're paying $10,000. Like, we were taking in all this money from our stores, from 22 locations. It starts to add up, right? That's a franchise system. Hey, if you went and opened a franchise, you had the money to do it, your family and friends would be like, awesome, you're opening a Subway franchise. Congratulations, you just spent $400,000. You're paying 18% royalties to the head office. Good luck on top of the rent. Like, society would not have a problem with that at all. They congratulate you.
They'd eat your sandwiches.
They eat your sandwiches. They pat you on the back. But oh shit, sorry, there's kids on the call. Oh God, you're gonna spend $20 a month in a coach fee, and you have to buy that shake every month. Holy cow, what are you risking? Like you have to have some perspective here, guys. And the thing about you as a coach, you keep 100% of your income. One, other than the IRS, you keep 100% of your income. You don't give any to your upline, you don't give any money. You get to keep everything you make.
Yep.
All Beachbody does is every Thursday, they're like, hey, you're doing a great job with your team. You're mentoring them awesome. Here's a bonus check. And then every quarter, if you're doing really well, they're like, here's money for doing a great job at showing up to your business every day. Your coaches are doing great. You're mentoring. Here's some money.
Yeah.
But you don't give any money away, guys. That's part of this understanding this coaching thing. It's like, go into these conversations with that confidence. And you can even use that analogy, guys, because it's just, this business is really cool. It's beautiful because we do get to help people with their health and build income for their family. And I don't know about you, but there's not a lot of things worse than financial stress on our relationships, right? Marriages, all that stuff. Like, financial stress is hard. Times are hard. I was calling bankruptcy lawyers being like, if I do this, if I pull the pin on this, what does it mean if I claim bankruptcy? Like, that's where we were at, you know? So like,
you don't have anything to your name.
No, I still don't have anything to my name. We put it all in Kim's because it was just like protection and stuff. Anyway, that's all past and it's done. But like, I really hope you guys like understand what this opportunity really is and share that with people, and don't be afraid of it. And you know what? Just because people don't understand it doesn't mean you need to think a certain way about it.
Yeah.
It's a strong business. Know that when people don't understand it, they just lack knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a little bit of ignorance, and that's not necessarily their fault either, because this industry, there's been a lot of bad companies in this industry too, you know?
Yeah.
So you just have to educate them.
And you have to educate yourself.
Yeah.
And that's why, guys, you have this call. That's why you have this team, like this, why you have these calls. That's why you have all of this, is so that you can lean in on those moments of doubt to say, hey, how would you counteract that? And push those back. And the one thing I want to share too, it's like, Wayne Dyer, you know, I actually have a couple books I would love you guys to read for leadership if you need any leadership ideas. This is called You Don't Need a Title to Be a Leader by Mark Sanborn. Like, I have it like every page is highlighted and sticky noted. So You Don't Need a Title to Be a Leader, Mark Sanborn. And The Leader Who Had No Title is by Robin Sharma. But Wayne Dyer said this, and it's something that really helped me. It was a very long time ago. And he said something about the concept of volleying the ball back. So when somebody in this business or what that you're talking to says something that bothers you, it strikes a chord, it strikes a trigger point, it makes you feel less than. There's an opportunity for you to be able to, and I legitimately do this because they can't see me. I'm just kidding, this is a horrible volley, but like, you're going to volley that back to you because that's not on me, and I'm not allowing you to absorb that into my energy, because Jamie spoke about this. I know Kasia speaks of energy. I'm going to volley that back to you because it's not allowed in my energy right now. And you get to own that. Your thoughts control your feelings control your emotions, and your thoughts control your feelings control your actions, and your actions control your results. So if your thinking pattern is on a cyclical cycle of why things aren't working, what's not going on, volley that back. And sometimes, guys, that volley is right in the mirror, and you're volleying your bull right back on yourself. Okay? Because it's the story you tell in yourself of why this may not work for you. But you have all the evidence tonight from a very logical perspective as to why this does.
And tell me a business you get to return within 30 days if you don't like it. Like, you know, like honestly, like you can return this business within 30 days.
And yeah, who wants to do that?
No, I know. I'm just saying, it's like there's so many things about this. It's like people are like, it's a scam. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's the most fair thing you will ever try.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
That's what we got, Kasia.
You guys are absolutely incredible. Thank you so much. Like, Kim, you did make me pee. And everyone, I don't know if you literally saw people's faces, but my neck is sore from like so aggressively head nodding and typing preach. But thank you so much. Seriously, you guys, so incredible. Thank you so much. Does anyone have any like burning question? I just love your perspective. You know, Jamie, we talked about this like when we were preparing for Summit too, of like the background of the business stuff is so interesting, having not been a business owner prior. When you explain it like that, and you know, my boyfriend Cena's we were talking about opening up a dental clinic for him, and even just looking at the model of it, I'm like, what? This is crazy that we have this opportunity, and that, like we talked about in your guys' team call on Monday, that impact is income. Like, that's incredible. So I'm so, so grateful for you guys and what you guys do in the network. So thank you so much. I know everyone's going to want this recording, so I'll get it uploaded in the team page. And thank you guys again so much.
Anytime. Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Have a great night, guys.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Take care.
You're on the cruise.
Yeah. See you then. Bye.
See ya.